Good morning, September 10th, 2024. I wanted to talk to you guys about monkeypox today, and then after that, genetically modified mosquitoes. So, I've been hearing a lot about monkeypox and some other viruses circulating around the world right now, and I heard a gentleman speak on monkeypox. Sorry, I don't know the gentleman's name. But I'm sure you can find it if you look for it. But his opinion, and do your own research on all the information you hear in this video today, please. His opinion is that monkeypox is a cover story for what's really happening, which is the jab from a few years ago damages your immune system so much that it can't control the Herpes Simplex virus anymore, and it gets a hold, and the symptoms you're seeing in the MPOX currently is just the HSV herpes virus run wild and out of control, is this gentleman's opinion. Most of us carry the herpes simplex virus. After we catch it the first time, the HSV remains in your body for life. While it usually doesn't cause any serious medical conditions, it can affect the brain and spinal cord, which leads to encephalitis or meningitis, which are very nasty diseases. They can kill you. HSV can also cause keratitis, which is an eye infection that can leave you blind. HSV can also affect the esophagus, lungs, liver, and skin, as well as it can kill your unborn child if the mother has an HSV outbreak during her pregnancy. I'm talking about the same virus that gives you a cold sore on your mouth. That's the HSV virus. Some people believe the resulting damage to your immune system lets the herpes simplex virus grow out of control, leading to these horrific outcomes, as well as being the root cause of this new monkeypox, MPOX scare. And so you know those two are different. Monkeypox is from years ago, and MPOX is the one they are currently talking about in the news. And I understand they dropped the monkey part because they have no idea where it originated from. A couple years ago, they named it monkeypox because they believed the virus originated in some wild monkey population and then jumped species to humans. That just makes me remember, like I was saying a few years ago, how there was another virus that went around the world and locked it down, the whole world. And that virus, when it hit the scene, also was of unknown origins. And then later we find out that it was manipulated in a lab and made. Anyway. And when, I'm not even getting into that, I'm sorry. Then there's also the triple E virus, which is Eastern Equine Encephalitis, and it has a 30% mortality, which means 30% of the people that get this virus will die. Did I mention it's transmitted by mosquitoes? You remember the story a few years ago about the genetically modified mosquitoes they were releasing? They messed with the genetics of it and the hopes of releasing it and that it would cascade in effect and kill a lot of the mosquitoes that transmit, like dengue, yellow fever, West Nile virus, Japanese encephalitis, stuff like that. Really nasty stuff these mosquitoes carry. And some people said, yeah, go ahead, play God, mess with the genetics, we trust you. Let me tell you what happened. There's this biotech firm called Oxitec, O-X-I-T-E-C, Oxitec. They created non-biting male mosquitoes to produce viable male offspring, according to an article in the Smithsonian Magazine in the March 30, 2022 edition. The mosquitoes, I'm going to botch this horrifically, the genus and species name are Aedes Aegypti, and they carry yellow fever, dengue, and Zika virus. And the Environmental Protection Agency cleared Oxitec to release 2.4 billion of those genetically modified mosquitoes, that particular genus and species that can carry those diseases. Why'd y'all pick that mosquito? They released them in California and Florida. So that's nice. Each side of the country, I guess they can work their way towards each other and cover the whole continental United States in half the time. Here's a quote. Female mosquitoes will die while males will reproduce and spread the self-limiting gene to the next generation, eventually leading to population declines. Don't you need females to reproduce? I'm no genius, but the article says verbatim, quote, female mosquitoes will die while males will reproduce. I might be splitting hairs here and I'm going to move on, but that's just dumb. Anyway, the Oxitec genetically modified mosquitoes also contain a genetic marker so they can easily be identified. You may not know, in 2021, Oxitec released 144,000 genetically modified mosquitoes in the Florida Keys, which was the pilot program to the one I've been talking about. And they also released mosquitoes in Brazil at that time. Dana Pearls, food and tech manager with Friends of the Earth, stated, quote, the public is being asked to trust that Oxitec's experiment will work, and genetically modified female mosquitoes will not survive, end quote. My question is, how do we know that? Smart people who think this is a really stupid point out the fact that these genetically modified female mosquitoes can come in contact with the antibiotic tetracycline in the environment, and that will allow them to survive Oxitec's little genetic modification of their genome. Tetracycline's a common antibiotic. You probably have had a prescription for it yourself and have taken it. And it gets into the environment. I didn't know until I researched this how widespread the use of tetracycline is. Let me inform you. They use tetracycline in agriculture on citrus, apple, pear, nectarine, and peach farms, as well as on cattle, poultry, and pig farms. That's a lot of square miles, I would imagine, when you add that up where tetracycline would be accessible. So, now, that's not very many places that these genetically modified female mosquitoes can get a dose of tetracycline and survive Oxitec's little genetic experiment on them, as I understand. Zika virus is something that's categorized as a flavivirus, and it's related to dengue, yellow fever, Japanese encephalitis, and West Nile virus. According to an ABC News publication in September 2023, according to the CDC, these are Center for Disease Control stats, in 2021, that was when Oxytec's pilot program released 144,000 mosquitoes in the Florida Keys and in Brazil and God only knows where else. In 2022, there were, in 2021, there were roughly 814 cases of dengue fever in the United States. And they released those mosquitoes. Then these are the stats for 2022. From 814 to 2,261 cases, and 50% of those 2,000 cases were acquired locally in the United States. Then in 2023, there were over 3 million cases of dengue fever in the Americas. Not just the United States, Central and South America too, North, Central, South America, all the Americas, but still, over 3 million cases. There's an increase in West Nile virus in 2021, as well as yellow fever cases in 2021 and 2022. In 2021, 49 states and the District of Columbia reported West Nile virus infections in people, birds, or mosquitoes. In 2021, Arizona had more than 1,400 cases, and 100 of those 1,400 cases, 100 of those people died from the West Nile virus infection from a mosquito bite. In 2021, 12 countries in West Central and East Africa reported confirmed cases of yellow fever. In Ghana, Africa, from October 21st to February 22nd, there were 70 confirmed yellow fever cases, and it was a 50% fatality rate. So think about that for a second. 35 of the 70 people that got bitten by a mosquito contracted this virus and died from a mosquito bite. The time frame of the Environmental Protection Agency's approval of the release of these genetically modified mosquitoes is interesting to me when you look at the dates when the mosquitoes were released and the rise in these serious diseases after the fact. Check it out. Hope you enjoyed it. God bless. Have a good day.